To create a campaign, click on the Campaigns button and then create a new campaign. The first thing it's going to ask you is which lead list would you like to send these emails to? You may only select a lead list once because that lead list then gets associated to that campaign. However, if you would like to duplicate the lead list, you're more than welcome to, and then it'll have all of the personalizations, everything else that you have configured will be accessible to the next campaign. Here I'm going to select, and I'm going to write with AI. In this instance, I'm going to use our own website, and I click to add details from my website. What we're doing is we're crawling the site, and then we are using ChatGPT to create some summaries. And then from here, we're going to start building our email templates. And these are all dynamically created. Let's edit this. At Nureply, we specialize in leveraging advanced AI to transform your email outreach. So here is the email. And if I wanted to add one of our custom variables, I could insert that custom variable over here. And you can also do spin tags. If you're familiar with spin tags, we'll allow you to do that. So we can do safe or random, and you can put all of the alternative text that you would like to put into there. You can also do HTML formatting. Our suggestion is that the first email should be left plain text, and follow-up emails can be done in HTML. We're generating a quick preview. This is what it's going to look like. This is what it's going to look like in Outlook and Yahoo Mail. We can go in here and we can save the changes. We can also add a variant. If you would like to add a variant, you're welcome to. You can also click the duplicate button. That will give you a new variant. Click Edit. You can put in your additional fields. Here we might put in our personalization. We'll save our change. And now we have an email with variables. I don't suggest putting a variable inside of the subject. In fact, for myself, I prefer keeping the subject lines consistent across all of the emails because then they show up as a thread. I have seen some people putting new subject lines, but what ends up happening is that you've essentially sent 5 individual emails, and there's no way for the recipient to reference other than searching their mailbox for you. So my suggestion is keep all of your subject lines consistent. You can also wait a certain number of days between these steps. You can add steps, and these ones are also set up and configured with AI. From here, we can call this demo, and we can choose which accounts we would like to send these emails from. If they're all part of the same campaign, you can select them all. These ones over here will give you some warnings. In this case, it says warm-up is not enabled. That's fine for our demo purposes. And then this targeted settings. This is how do you want to prioritize follow-ups. So every email campaign is going to have a certain number of leads. And then each campaign is going to have a certain number of sender accounts. And each sender account is going to have a certain maximum number of emails that it can send on any particular day. So let's just for easy math, say that we configured each one of these accounts to only send 10 emails a day. So this means that this can only send 30 emails inside of this campaign. The question is, do we want to prioritize sending new mails, or do we want to prioritize sending follow-ups? My suggestion is that you leave this on balanced so that it gets the opportunity to send email message number 1, and it also gets to send message number 2 and 3. The biggest problem that people face is not having enough sender accounts. based off of the number of leads that they have. So they might bring in several thousand leads, but only 2 or 3 email accounts. And if each one of those accounts is only configured to send, by best practices, 30 emails a day, it'll take a very long time to burn through your list of a few thousand people sending 3 follow-up emails with your default sending accounts. Definitely in this scenario, more sending accounts, the better, because it gives you the highest likelihood of success. Although it's not reflected here, you should be sending from multiple sending domains, but none of these domains should be your primary business domains. They should be domains registered specifically for cold outreach. Here, you can stop sending after somebody replies. That's generally set to being on. The other one is stop the campaign for a company. So what does that mean? You could add a single domain. Let's say you wanted to email google.com and have 4 or 5 people that you're simultaneously sending emails. If you wanted any emails sent to that particular recipient domain, if any of them interact, stop the system from sending emails to the rest of the recipients in that particular domain. Typically here, I leave that off, and I also leave off the stop sending after a click. A click could be, somebody checking out your website. I don't find that's enough for me to make it a warm lead. It is really good telemetry, but it's not enough information. So this is sort of how I leave this on default until somebody responds, because I want a reply in the inbox. I don't really want to change the default behavior of this. You can also say here, I want to send all my emails as text, or you can say send the first email as text only, and then all subsequent messages will be sent as HTML. You can also, or there's a recipient on Google, you should send emails from your Google accounts. So the more diversity you have in the accounts, the sending accounts that you bring into the system, the better we can add custom rules. So by default, you should do all Microsoft through Microsoft. So you should sign up for some Office 365 accounts and for Google Workspace accounts. And then you can create these as custom rules. Scheduling, when do you want it sent? Do you want click tracking? Do you want open tracking? Here is the safety. This adds some variability into your message sending so that these things don't look too spammy. And in this case, because I have 3 accounts, I'm going to set my daily sending limit to 100, because each account is going to be capable of sending 30 emails per day. And then we can go ahead and we can launch that campaign. But here in this instance, I just saved it as a draft. And that is how you uh, create a campaign. You can also go in here and manage your campaign. You can view your sequences. You can adjust your personalization. We want to delete that. We can go back here and we can configure those settings, add more sending accounts, and change any of the other configs or limits.